Okay, so chaining is using operant conditioning to teach a complex response by linking together less complex skills. So in this video, we are taking a few small tricks and putting them into a larger system of behavior that we want MILO to follow. Primary reinforcement is a term used in conditioning, and it refers to anything that provides reinforcement without the need for learning to an organism. This means that the reinforcer is naturally reinforcing the organism. For example, the food in this video is an example of primary reinforcement because it's something that MILO would naturally get, but this is just helping him learn the tricks much better. Another example of primary reinforcement would be a home or a place that MILO feels comfortable. So this is a video of MILO crawling into a ball because he really enjoys that and it's calming to him. In generalization, it refers to a process within operant and classical conditioning where a condition response starts occurring in response to the presentation of other similar stimuli, not just the conditioned stimulus, which means that MILO will respond to any type of food, not just a certain type of food, because he knows that if he does the trick, he will get a reward much like each other. In continuous reinforcement, it is an operant conditioning principle in which an organism is reinforced every single time that organism provides the appropriate operant response. So as long as he's doing what we tell him to, he gets a treat. With fixed ratio, it is an operant conditioning reinforcement schedule, which an organism must make a certain number of operant responses, whatever it may be in the experiment, in order to receive reinforcement. So after a certain number of times MILO stands up, he gets a treat. In this case, every 3 times he stands up, he gets 1 treat. Now moving on to conditioned response. In classical conditioning, the conditioned response is the learned response or the reflexive behavior to a conditioned stimulus. This response is almost identical to the unconditioned stimulus, except that now the reflexive behavior occurs in response to a conditioned stimulus as opposed to an unconditioned stimulus. So this is the behavior that we want from him. And the conditioned stimulus is almost vice versa. In classical conditioning, a formerly neutral stimulus that after association with an unconditioned stimulus comes to produce a conditioned response. And positive reinforcement is a stimulus which increases the frequency of a particular behavior, usually using pleasant rewards or prizes. And MILO enjoys food like most rats. So after he does what we tell him to, we give him a treat, and that is giving him something which would be a positive enforcement because he is being rewarded for his work. And we couldn't forget to put bloopers in our video. So we have a few times when MILO has had some pretty close calls.